Next stop on the walkabout will be visiting my raised bed garden where I grow veggies, herbs, and cut flowers. But before we do, just let's pause for a minute and take a look at my Yoder built greenhouse. Had this installed, delivered last August. What a game changer. As a gardener for many years, I've dreamed and dreamed of having my own greenhouse, and now I do, and I could not be more delighted with how it's really been able to amp up my gardening. I can garden year round, and so pretty soon I'll do another little video and take you inside and on a little walkabout inside the greenhouse and look at what I have growing on in there and what needs to get out in the landscape, which it's full speed ahead right now for sure. Okay, so we're going to head into my raised bed garden. See what is growing in my garden here on May the 11th. Okay, so you see these big, tall, beautiful plants? There's a row of them over there. Yeah, trying my hand at growing garlic. I'm growing hardneck garlic, the German, I don't know, variety. I planted the garlic as recommended last October. This garlic is going to stay in these beds until I think I harvest it. Maybe I'm supposed to harvest it in like June or early July. So it's a slow grower, but I use tons of garlic in cooking. I mean, probably 4 times a week when I'm cooking garlics in something I'm making. So this is going to produce, if they all produce, about 50 heads of garlic. That's a whole nother video we'll talk about, and I'll bring you along on that adventure on how to harvest the garlic, store it, dry it out, store it, and then replant it this fall. Okay, so in this bed, I just popped in some pepper plants. So in the front here, I won't bother you with all the details, but some different kinds of bell peppers. And you know I love my nasturtium, so I popped some from the greenhouse out here into the front of the bed. This little bed with Jerome. Have you met Jerome? If you haven't, oh sorry, Jerome. Jerome the garden gnome. Isn't he adorable? So Jerome hangs out with me in the garden. I usually place him in the certain beds or areas that I need him to work on with his gnome magic. He was a gift from my son Colin. Oh gosh, probably 4 or 5 years ago now. He's adorable. Anyhow, yeah, so there's not much to see in this bed yet. I have got the leftovers of some of my daffodils and some hyacinth and muscari. But again, I've popped in a couple of pepper plants. Those lunch box, you know, the little ones that you can get at the store that are so darn expensive. I have a red variety and an orange variety. And over here, again, this bed has a garlic and pepper plants in the front and a hole that's waiting for a jalapeno plant that I didn't pick up at the market. But these three are hot and spicy. Serrano, Anaheim hot, and then I'm going to find a jalapeno. Yes, I tried to grow peppers from seed. Yes, they're supposed to be easy to grow. I don't know what I did wrong, but they did not do great. So I went to this local nursery and bought some plants, already mature plants to pop in there because, yeah, I don't think my pepper plants are going to do anything this year. Okay, let's come around here. And this, I don't know if you can see. Oh, that's terrible. Let's come around here. So barely able to see these little ferny plants, but those are cosmos, the Japanese Kiro variety that I grew from seed. The idea is cosmos can get relatively tall, so I've got this candle panel right here that I can, secure them to if they need it. So that's that. Let's take a look over here. Sorry about the shadows. So in this bed, I've got cilantro, I've got arugula, I've got some escarole lettuce, and just the other day, I think, hope you followed along, I planted my pre-sprouted dahlias down in this bed. And so you can see my bamboo stakes. Each of those stakes represents one of my dahlias. Over here, not much to see, except let me come around here. In this box, I have golden beets. And down on this end, I have Swiss chard, the 5-color. All of these I grew from seed for the very first time. I'm pretty proud of that. This next box, again, more things that I grew from seed. These are 2 types of radish, which they will be done pretty soon. It gets so hot here so fast that once the weather gets too warm, you know, radishes get bitter and super duper hot. So this is definitely a spring crop. And actually, if I come in here, this would be one. I know it seems small, but this is one I would harvest this small while they're still sweet and not too hot. And then down here, I have carrots. Yay, I have a little bit of carrot success. I don't usually have success with carrots, but I grew the new Carota, I think is the way it's pronounced, and the glow stick variety. So these are going to be multicolored carrots, and those down there will be bright orange. So in this long planter box, I am growing sugar snap peas, one of my all-time favorite spring crops. There you see, and you know that I have my husband put the cattle panels across these 2 boxes to create a little archway. And so my sugar snaps will grow up this trellis system and up to the top. And once these are done, I will be putting in cucumbers. And then on this side, I've got another box, and on this side, I'll be pretty soon putting in some pole beans. Kentucky Blue Lake, I think, is the variety I'm going to grow from seed this year. So green beans on this side, sugar snaps, and then eventually cucumbers. The other thing I wanted to show you is I want to grow an annual vine. And so it's not looking so great, and that's making me really sad. But I grew this butterfly pea vine from Baker Creek, grew them from seed. And out of 12 seeds, I only had 2 or 3 germinate. I don't know what happened because all their other stuff germinated really great. But the idea is I want flowering vines also on either end. So stay tuned for that. I don't know. This could be a garden fail, but I'm going to give it a try. And here's the other one. They just look so wimpy and spindly. But the picture of the mature ones makes them look magnificent. Okay, I think this is the last box. In this last box, I have planted 4 dahlias under the soil. You can see these were the ones that I pre-sprouted. I just posted a video a day or 2 ago of that process. First time ever pre-sprouting. And so yeah, in that bed. And then also in this bed, I've got some lettuce. I had spinach here, but I really struggle growing spinach. So if you guys have some tips on how I can grow spinach, I would really appreciate it. The variety of seed I direct sowed out here was Tundra, but look, like pathetic. There were a few green sprouts and they're gone. So I don't know if I didn't keep it watered or not. I don't know what happened, but I'm not very good at growing spinach, darn it. Yeah, so that's pretty much what's happening right now, but this is going to look way different in a month because as the Walkabout shows, this is going to be filled with many, many, many more vegetables and flowers that I am growing on in the greenhouse. Tomatoes and all kinds of other veggies. So you'll have to stay tuned for that. So the last part of our walkabout today, I want to take you all up to this beautiful area where you can see maybe some of the beautiful, brilliant gold and yellow flowers that are blooming. That is our 2-acre pollinator habitat that my husband and I started 3 years ago. So this is its 3rd summer. And like many big projects like this, it takes about 3 years to get things going. And it is really starting to leap. This is its leap year, and I'm told by other people who have grown big pollinator habitats, by year 3, 4, or 5, it's just outstanding. So come along, let's take a walk. Oh, we've got visitors incoming. Hello, Mr. and Mrs. G. Can you guys see Mr. and Mrs. G? You can hear Mr. and Mrs. G, I hope. This is the pair that's been hanging out in our pond. Oh, don't leave. Okay, well, guess that's it. They got scared away. Maybe they're camera shy. Mr. and Mrs. G have been visiting us, and they brought their goslings about a week ago, which was a delight. So anyhow, I am headed up into the pollinator patch for the last part of our walkabout. So thanks for hanging in there with me, and let's go. Well, here we go. So one of the things that I wanted to do is to have my husband, when he mows, cut some walkways through this 2-acre pollinator patch. Oh, and there he is. Let's see if I can zoom in. You hear the weed whacking going on? Where are you, Alan? Oh, he was behind the tree. He is weed whacking around some of the cedars that line our property. I hope you can still hear me okay. Yeah, so one of the things that I dreamed about in putting together this 2-acre pollinator habitat was creating little pathways for me and my friends and family to come on a little walkabout and have a way to enjoy this space. And oh, it is just magnificent, and it's only May the 11th. I mean, just look. Mostly what you're seeing are a variety of coreopsis, not a stunner, and some yarrow, the white flowers that you see. But this pollinator habitat, actually, we planted or spread 26 varieties of seed that attract monarchs in particular, as well as bee-friendly, and many more varieties of pollinators. So yeah, see if I can get some video here of the pollinators. I can see loads and loads of them. Everything from bumblebees to regular honeybees to dragonflies. Here I am on another walkway that we mow that leads up to sort of the peak of this 2-acre patch. We wanted to find a little spot to put some seeding in, and one of my sweet friends answered the call when I put out on Facebook, does anyone have any tree stumps we can use as seeding? And with just a few minutes, he answered the call, and so we can take a walk up here and enjoy the view, get a close-up look of the pollinators and all of this beauty. It's just a magical place right now. Look at that. Wow, wow, wow. So wouldn't you like to sit here and sip a cup of coffee or a nice glass of iced tea, or maybe, as I've done before, a nice glass of rosé in the summertime? So that's what it's looking like in our 2-acre pollinator habitat. No better place to end my mid-May walkabout than in the center of our 2-acre pollinator habitat, surrounded by critters and beauty, the sights and sounds of a lovely day in the garden. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today on this walkabout. And as always, if you enjoyed today's video, I'd appreciate you liking and subscribing. And wherever you are, I hope for you, it's a happy gardening day.